Hello, in this video we're going to discuss Piktochart, which is an online tool that allows you to create infographics online. You can then download this infographics or you can link directly to those infographics that'll be hosted on Piktochart. They have built-in fonts, icons, and images for you to pick from, so you really don't have to have any outside design. You don't have to create your own graphics. There's just some for you to pick from, and you can start easily from a template. These are some examples of infographics. They're basically a way of taking information, taking content, and organizing it or presenting it in a graphical or visual way. So these are three different topics. One is paralanguage, one is dementia, and one is the planets. And you can see they've all been turned into infographics, which are often turned into posters, online posters that you would post online or ones you'd actually print out and put in a notebook, in a classroom, what have you. But again, it's an alternative to writing something out in text, which can sometimes get overwhelming. You can lose points. You have trouble organizing it. Sometimes you have trouble relating the concepts to putting it together in a visual way, which makes it perhaps a little bit more easy to interpret, to see the relationships, and to remember it. So that's basically what an infographic is. You can essentially create an infographic really about any concept you want to talk about, and you can use Piktochart to create that infographic. So let's try it out. So to begin, you want to go to Piktochart and create your own account and then log into it. This will be the dashboard. It will show graphics that you've already made, or you can make new graphics. You can even, if you anticipate making a lot of graphics, you can even make folders to put those graphics in. So over on the side, you have different types. You have infographics, which are a little bit of what we've discussed before. And again, these are the templates that are available to you. They also have presentations, which are a little bit more along the lines of like a PowerPoint type presentation. So still graphically appealing, but just a little bit different. And then you have printables, which are even a little bit different than that. There can be posters, reports, or flyers. And again, the templates can really be used. You could really make an infographic using the infographic templates or the printable templates. It's really up to you. Of course, you want to make sure to sort by the free templates because there is an upgraded version that would allow you to have pro templates. But you can scroll through and look at the different templates that you have, keeping in mind that you can completely redesign your infographic, either just start it from scratch or completely change everything that is on the slide to begin with. So in this case, let's choose to start from scratch. The first thing you want to do when you enter the editing area is to change the canvas size. So you can go to settings and you can choose it on whichever size that you would like, just to make sure if you know that you're going to try to print this on a regular standard piece of paper, you might want to make sure that it is the correct size before you actually start making anything. So from there, we're going to delete off and start with just a blank slide. Again, your template would be here if you had selected one of those. And then over here on the left is where we have our tools. We probably want to pick a background first. So we can pick from any of these backgrounds that are available to us, or we could just pick a regular color if we just want a standard color. And really all you do is just grab it and drag it over. Now once you grab it and drag it over, again, you can change it as easily as just grabbing another one. Now you may say, oh, this looks really busy. How am I going to be able to put any content on it for people to be able to really see and understand it? And that's where shapes will come in. So under graphics, we can do shapes and icons. And we want to look specifically for shapes. And then we'll be able to pull in different shapes. We can pull in just all the shapes. We can look for colored shapes, or we can look for mono shapes. So I just grab my shape and I pull it out and I can resize it as necessary. I can then, as it's selected, come up and make changes. So maybe I can change the color of it if I want. If I want it to be, a different particular color. It'll also save any recent colors that I've selected. I can then also come and choose to make it opaque, to make it a little bit see-through, which might be kind of nice if you're not wanting it to be the full thing. You're just wanting it to be to where you can write on top of it and be able to see. So maybe we add that in as well. And then maybe next I want to add some text. So over here on the side, I'll come to text. I can choose just regular text of whatever size, or I can come down here and choose this kind of pre-made text with these different formatting if I would like to choose, a particular type of text. So I pulled out just a regular text box and I typed in my text. I can then highlight it. I can change my font. I can change my size. I can do all those different edits right up here. Notice that as you scroll down, there are other options for shapes. So there's not just the standard shape. There's lots of other options that you can choose to drag out and use. You can add text to those. You can move those around. You can do what you will with those images as well. Next, you might want to include some clip art, and so you can actually come back to the graphics area, and instead of looking at the shapes, you can choose any of these drop downs to see different types of clip art. So like I could choose animals, and these will all be available right within the right within Piktochart. So I can grab one and resize it as necessary to include in my diagram. In addition, I can also add data. So if I come over here, I can come to tools and I can choose charts, and it will actually allow me to pick the type of chart that I would like and then put in data or import data that might be necessary to go on my infographic. So from here we could input our data and we could see what the image looks like, and we can insert that chart into our diagram here, and then we can do further edits if necessary. To make any edits, we just choose the edit icon and we can actually come to the settings area and we could change like the colors, those type things on our chart. Now what we might want to do is it's kind of hard to see, so we can come back up to our graphics and we can maybe go back to our shapes at this point like we did before, and we can find a solid shape like we did before. And we can put that with a little bit of a light background on it to try to help make it to where everything doesn't blur together. So what we did in this case is just pulled over the shape and we turned it white, and then we used this to make it to where it's a little bit, it's not all the way white, but it's a little bit there. Then we can use layering. So I can take this, and this is actually on the top layer, this white area. So I can use layering to send it backwards so that that is in front, and maybe I send it backwards again so that you can see it a little bit better, but it doesn't completely make that whole area white. In the other tools area, you can also use maps, and you can come in and search a particular map or a particular region, and you can choose to edit that map. So you can change the overall map color, you can give border colors, and then you can change the colors of those particular states in there, as well as add in any data if you want. So this could be what the final product looks like, and we can insert our map, and then notice when we hover over our map, the data that we put into the column is going to show, so we can edit that, and in this case we're putting in the number of owls in like the hundreds or thousands or whatever we wanted to do right there, so that when it's hovered over it would show that information. And then I can size this down to fit. Now you may say, oh, I need this a little bit bigger. You can always drag this down, keeping in mind that that may affect your printing size, but you can always drag that down as well to have it included. We could also do something a little bit different, which would allow us to have a different background, and that would be to come up and choose add a block, and that would add us another block, and then we can pull this block up. And then what we're able to do at that point is to have a different background. So I can move this second block up. So it's almost like dealing with two different pages, if you will, even though they'd be printed together. So this is block 1 and this is block 2. So with block 2, I'm able to now come and get a different background if I wanted to. So then from here, we can come back to our text. And maybe this time, instead of picking just a default text, we could pick one of the text frames. And with that, it kind of gives you a format that you can just pull over and use. So again, those are the main tools. You can use graphics, that you can use shape, or any other icons that you might be interested in. You just kind of grab them and pull them over. You can choose all, you can choose ones that are colored, or you can choose ones that are not colored if you prefer more of the infographic style. You can also pull in different lines. You can use real photos if you wanted to. You can search real photos if you prefer those over the clip art. You can also do photo frames if you would like for those to be included, where you have a frame and you just drop in your photos. You can upload your own photos if you like, if there's something particular you want to use on your computer. Pick backgrounds, add your text, and then use the different variety of tools. So then you just want to give your infographic a name, and you want to make sure to save it. And then, of course, you can preview it, and this is what it would look like. And then you have some different options. You can choose to download it and download it as a PNG file, which is an image file, which will allow you to download it, put it on other files, upload it onto web pages, email it, whatever you want to do with it. It's living outside at this point of Piktochart, and you're able to open it and do what you will with it from there. So this is what it would look like in the photo viewer. And again, we could save that to our computer and insert it where we would like. In addition, we can choose to share it, and we could make this link available to the public, and then I could just grab this link and I could be able to share this with anyone. And so that when I log out of my own account, and I have given the person the link to the Piktochart that I have created, they'll be able to click on it, open it right within here. They'll be able to see it, add comments if necessary, share it, and I'll be able to see how many people had viewed it. I can even look at it presentation mode, which would be breaking it down into different pieces. So again, that's how you can view your infographic online as well. And that's the basic rules and tools of using Piktochart.